looking at right triangle congruence? We've looked at side, 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 angle, and angle, angle, side. Those are for just normal triangles. These are specific only for right triangles. Theorem 36.1 is the leg angle, LA, right triangle congruence theorem. You do not need to learn theorem 36.1. You need to learn LA, right triangle congruence theorem, because that is the name of it. You have a right triangle where a leg and an angle are congruent to a leg and an angle of another triangle. What does this look like? No, angle, side, angle, right? But since we have one angle that's a right angle, we don't use angle, side, angle. We use the leg angle. Does that make sense? Or you could also have, what does it look like now? Angle, angle, side. Does that make sense? But since it's a right triangle, you do not write angle, angle, side. You would put leg, angle, right triangle congruence theorem. Does that make sense? It wants you to use the leg, angle, right triangle congruence theorem to prove the two triangles are congruent. So basically, just explain how you know that the two triangles are congruent. Do what? They tell us that leg AB and XY are congruent. And they tell us angle C and angle Z are congruent. What other thing do they tell us? The two triangles are right triangles. So given those three pieces of information, what do we know? They are congruent by what? The LA right triangle congruence theorem. Does that make sense? Y'all see how that works? If it said use the LA to prove the triangle's congruent, if you wanted to make a two-column proof, you could. Or you could just do a paragraph proof. It doesn't care. Does that make sense? We also have the hypotenuse angle right triangle congruence theorem, HA. What do these look like they are using? It looks like angle, angle, side. Does that make sense? But since it's a right triangle, do we actually use angle, angle, side? Okay. We want to write a two-column proof to prove that the two triangles are congruent. Do you agree? Okay. What is given? They're both right triangles. Yes, T is congruent to T, but that's not what I would start with. I would say triangle DTO and triangle TOM are right. We'll get there. Does that make sense? So they tell us that they have a right angle, so they have to be a right triangle. Do they give us any other information? TO is not equal. TO is congruent to MO. Does that make sense? You can include it with this statement, or if you want to make it a second statement, you can. Either one. Does that make sense? Okay. What would be the next thing to say? No, we don't need to say the two right angles are congruent. They're right triangles. They have to be congruent. Do you agree? Are these two angles congruent? Why? Actually, a theorem, vertical angles theorem. And if you put definition of vertical angles, I'm not going to mark it wrong. Vertical angles is one of the very few that you don't do definition of it. It's the theorem of it. Any questions so far? Okay. Now what? HA right triangle congruence theorem. Does that make sense? If you use angle, angle, side, I'm going to mark it wrong. Even if that's the only mistake you use, you have to use the right triangle congruence theorem. Does that make sense? Any questions on this one? Okay. Looking at the next right triangle congruent? Leg, leg. What does this look like? Side angle side. But are we going to use side angle side? Because it is a right triangle. Does that make sense? I want you to use the leg-leg theorem to prove the two triangles congruent. See if you can make your own two-column proof to prove the two triangles are congruent. What's the reason? Okay. What would be the second statement? What? They're both 9 inches. That's given. Therefore, what? Does that make sense? I would do this. Definition of what? You could do that. You could say substitution, or you could say transitive property, depending on how you're thinking about it. Would depend on which one you pick. Does that make sense? What would be the next one? And what would be the reason? Okay, what would be the fifth statement? What would be next? And what would be the reason? Does that make sense? Y'all see how that works? Any questions there? All right, looking at the last one, hypotenuse leg. HL, right triangle congruence theorem. This is the only one that we do not have another triangle congruence theorem for. It doesn't fit up with SSS or SAS or ASS. No, ASA or AAS. It doesn't fit with any of those four. Well, the yeah, yeah. One of them works for angle side angle and or angle side and angle side angle. This is the one that doesn't work for any of them. See if you can write a two-column proof to prove the triangles are congruent using the HL theorem. triangle PSR and triangle HJK are right triangles. And what would be the reason? Okay. Any questions so far? What would be the next statement? HJ and RP are 6 centimeters. What would be the reason? Given. What would be the third step? RP is congruent to JH. And the reason? Transitive property of congruence. That's fine. Okay, what would be the fourth step? RS and JK are both 11 centimeters. The reason? It is given. What would come next? RS is congruent to JK, transitive property of congruence. And what would be the last step? The two triangles are congruent by the HL right triangle congruence theorem. Does that make sense on that one? Any questions on these? No. You do not have to state that those are legs and hypotenuses or hypotenuse. Any questions on these? Okay. Your test